In 2009, a standout high school band student attended the College of Columbia in New York. This guy was full of energy, funny, and an accomplished leader at St. Thomas Academy High School in Mendota Heights. This student had a lot of good things going for him in college. On January 31st, 2009, this student committed suicide in his dorm. What people didn't know is that this former St. Thomas Academy student suffered from depression. According to the Mayo Clinic, in an article updated in July 2015, depression is defined as a mood disorder that causes a persistent feeling of sadness and loss of interest. Also called major depressive disorder or clinical depression, it affects how you feel, think, behave, and can lead to a variety of emotional and physical problems. Today we'll be talking about the causes, effects, and solutions to an ongoing problem that haunts our society today. The causes to depression are continuous, and where it is happening most is on college campuses. And a lot of people don't see a lot of the signs. First, most of these college students are keeping their feelings behind closed doors. According to the CDC.gov in an article in 2015, major depression frequently goes unrecognized and untreated and may foster tragic consequences, and such as suicide and impaired interpersonal relationships at work and at home. Most students don't want to express their depression problems to people because they think they are alone in this fight. Many people believe that there is no hope and keep getting negative thoughts within themselves. In 2011, the American College Health Association National College Health Assessment did a survey with college students at a 2-year, 4-year institution, found that about 30% of college students reported feeling so depressed it was difficult to function. At some time in the past year, depression gets so bad for some college students that they don't think clearly and make poor decisions. Another cause is that people that smoke and drink can lead into depression and are susceptible to making poor decisions. For example, a lot of college students the effect can have poor academic performance in college. According to a study done by the National Institute of Mental Health in 2011, college students who have depression are more likely to smoke. Research suggests that students with depression do not necessarily drink alcohol more heavily than other college students, but students with related alcohol abuse are engaging in unsafe sex. Some of these examples are just the tip of the iceberg of problems with depression in college. Most students think alcohol is the way out: eating, not eating, cutting oneself, or sitting in one place for hours. This problem won't solve itself. The effects of depression are the key thing that we need to be aware about in this day and age. This illness has short-term and long-term effects that leave a mark on the way you do things and can possibly scar people for the rest of their lives. The short-term effects are simple, and it is the starting factor to the illness. According to the CDC.gov updated in July of 2015, the short-term symptoms, physical effects include erratic sleep habits, loss of appetite, constant fatigue, muscle aches, headaches, and back pain. These symptoms are the key for people on the antidepressants as well, because a lot of people sometimes forget or refuse to take their medication for it. The longer people hold off their medication, the worse the condition can get worse. This is common in people that are bipolar as well, because if they don't take their antidepressants, then they are prone to suffering from not taking their medication. These short-term effects prolong into the long-term effects of the illness. The long-term effects are where it truly kicks in and really gets scary. According to WebMD.com, from an article in 2015, the long-term effects consist of illness that involves body, mood, and thoughts. Clinical depression affects the way you eat and sleep. It affects the way you feel about yourself and those around you. It affects your thoughts. If this goes untreated, these symptoms can get much stronger, and it causes people with it to really get down on themselves. For example, a recent study done by UCLA in 2014 reported the lowest level of self-emotional health since the survey began 49 years ago. The survey included responses from many first-time, full-time students at 227 colleges and universities. As I mentioned earlier with the tragic death of the Columbia student, these were the kind of stats that caught my eye and made me really understand how serious this illness is. Social media is a huge influence as well and causes a lot of college students to fall into depression. UCLA did another survey that the percentage of students dedicating 6 hours or more per week to social media increased to 27.2% in 2014 and from 18.9% in 2007. Social media triggers the long-term effects of this illness. The true question is how college students can find a way to combat this. The solutions are simple but easier said than done to an illness that is very hard to comprehend and treat. One way to help fight this problem is seeking the help from a parent, friend, or school official. Most college students do not want to seek help, so people should look at the clubs that they can help students by giving stress kits or scheduling events for students to go so they are involved. Everyone has heard the lecture of how students should be involved on campus, but there are ways to ease some of the students that struggle with depression to get out of their comfort zone. Opening up is tough for a lot of people, but giving these people the feeling of not being alone in an ongoing fight gives them a ray of hope. Notice any mood swings a person has is something that everyone needs to be aware of because, like I mentioned earlier, there are a lot of people that show a lot of signs of depression. If people notice something like that, then it's time to take action. Most depressed people aren't able to control a lot of their emotions, and the occasional outbursts could be telltale signs that this person could be clinically depressed. If things do get out of hand, this person is joking about committing suicide, the best option is to talk to a person that has expertise in this field and find them help, because if it's that serious, it is an indication that this person is clearly struggling and needs help. Medication works pretty well for a lot of depressed college students, but the next issue, if that person is going to be willing to take it. The key is that there is a person out there that is willing to give time to help a person in need. Today we talked about the causes, effects, and solutions to a problem going on at many colleges. The primary thing to do is that what we students can help with these depressed people and this ongoing problem going on around college campuses. No one wants to see a college student lose their minds to depression or even worse, their life. If people come together to help out with this illness, we can properly help these people.